Good afternoon, welcome Monday. Talk on the block. Still on the lookout for some names that were expected to surface in the much talked about Panama Papers. It's not only been discussed in Dominica, all over the world. Weighing in this morning on DBS's Talking Point, the AG said this: I am not excited about the Panama Papers at all, but if I get a request, because we may not know it, but if request has to come to Dominica for assistance, it would come to the Attorney General's office. So if I get a request for assistance, I will deal with it, or deal with the request in a professional manner. But it's nothing, or it's not something that I should get excited about, I don't think. The Panama Papers is the largest ever release of secret offshore companies, and the people behind it, or people behind them. The 11 million documents were leaked from a Panamanian law firm, Mossack Fonseca. They showed how the company has helped clients launder money, dodge sanctions, and evade taxes, and show a myriad of ways in which the rich can exploit secretive offshore tax regimes. They have been connected to a staggering number of high-profile names from around the globe. It is expected that the full database will be published today, May 9th. It will include information about more than 200,000 companies, trusts, foundations, and funds incorporated in 21 tax havens from Hong Kong, Nevada in the United States. It is reported also that the database will include information on more than 68 companies, showing owners from Dominica. We'll continue to watch this one very closely. Watching still the big political star in the should be Soufriere constituency. Carlisle, any candidates confirmed thus far?
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your many listeners. I'm hearing names. Thus far, in terms of the United Workers' Party, my information is that, and it has been confirmed that Higgs Adams is expected to be the United Workers' Party candidate for the Soufriere constituency in the by-election. That is my information, and that has been out.
So they're going back to Higgs Adams, from what you gather?
Yes, that is the information that I have. Credible information.
Do you think Carlisle Baptist they stand a chance with Higgs Adams?
Well, like every other thing, everybody, once you're in the ring, you stand a chance.
Okay.
Because I was in the constituency. Well, I went to Soufriere, Scott said, on Saturday, and the Prime Minister on Friday night he was at Wice playing dominoes, dancing with the people and playing dominoes.
Okay.
So I'm saying to myself, whoa, you mean that is what it has to take a by-election, the Prime Minister to be playing dominoes and dancing? All the time he was not around playing dominoes and dancing. No, his presence is in the constituency, left, right, and center. So it just tells you what is going on. So, of course, he does stand a chance like every other candidate who is expected to be in the ring. My understanding is that there may, and I say may, very well be an independent candidate. I spoke with an individual. I am not yet authorized to say much more on that, but my information is that there may very well be an independent candidate, if not more than one independent candidate in the ring.
You mean an independent candidate coming at this stage? You think, Gala?
Well.
Why? Because some people are unhappy with the choices?
Well, it just tells you that. There's also a survey going on, an opinion survey form as to what is going on in the constituency. It is being conducted as we speak. Someone spoke with me over the weekend, with an independent survey form, and I was able to fill out one of those forms. I don't know who they are, but they are independent people, and they were asking me questions on a survey form.
Oh, what I find strikingly interesting, Kalal, is the fact that some people, the staunch supporters of a few of them in the Soufriere proper constituency, are not happy with what happened, and some people are even suggesting they will not vote. Ian is the guy they wanted, but if Ian is the guy they wanted, Carlisle and the Labour Party sending somebody up, it seemed to stand to reason that the candidate will be liked or voted for, but it doesn't look like that as we speak.
But you see, Matt, and if we have to look a little fast track, let me tell you, you are very right, because also in the Roseau South constituency, there's a lot of bickering within the rank and file of the Labour Party as it relates to candidates. In the Roseau South, there was a meeting last week where Mr. Ambrose Judge was at that meeting in Bath Estate, to be more exact. And people got annoyed because Ambrose Judge is saying that there will be a by-election in the Roseau South constituency very soon. And Ambrose Judge, is the caretaker.
Well, how does Ambrose Judge know there will be a by-election?
well, he's presuming, I imagine, and he is the caretaker. He said it is not whoever that guy is not the Benoit guy. Ambrose Judge, is the caretaker for that constituency, and he is the one that is expected to go up whenever that by-election is called. So
you're joking.
I'm serious.
I said Ambrose, it was over.
But Ambrose said publicly that he was done with active politics. And so there's a certain individual from Bath Estate, well-known individual, a Labour Party individual, who stood up and said, but behave yourself. Behave yourself. What you think you're doing, where you think you're going, we do not want you anymore. And that individual, very vocal, was very adamant, and so that caused a lot of problems in the constituency, more friction. So you see again, friction in that area, friction in the Point Michel constituency, Freer Scottsdale constituency, over the choice of candidates. Ambrose wants to run if there's a by-election, and so in our constituency, some people want to push a certain candidate down the throats of the people, and the people will say that they will have none of it.
Very interesting.
So there's a lot of infighting in the ranks and file of the Labour Party over who will run.
Selection of candidates, yes.
The selection of candidates. Something similar to what happened in the Wesley Woodford Hill constituency, Matt. And that may very well spell trouble for them.
Kala John Baptist, another story that surfaced this morning. I just mentioned it briefly, but I've been getting a lot of calls. You were one of the persons who raised it many, many months ago. It has to do with your accounts at the Royal Bank.
In fact, Matt, yes, I remember raising that, read the Media Workers Association account, because we have an account there, and every month, I think $25 is being deducted from our account. Transaction or not, $25. I'm saying, why are you doing that? And so I received a message where Royal Bank of Canada is further taking from the people's money. Taking from the people's money. I have the breakdown, but it's on my phone, so probably I'll send.
I'm hearing, that's what I heard. That's, they're charging, and I have to talk to Royal Bank about it. $25 a month to take care. Does that make sense?
Well, that is what they're charging from the media workers. They take $25.
But it's no longer companies, Kala, or associations. It's about your personal accounts.
Your personal account. So that is a way of them making money. So they're just taking your money. $25 one way, I think $50.
That cannot be fair, Kala, can it?
But the people need to protest. People need to speak out against that. People need to speak out against that. That is thieving the people's money.
Well, again, I'm gonna see if I could talk to the manager of Royal or somebody, in charge there, because I've been getting a lot of phone call effective this month, and this and that will change as it relates to, the bank taking care of your accounts. So does it really cost them $25 to store this information in the bank? I don't know what is going on.
Well, pretty soon you will realize that you don't have any more money in the bank, because if they're taking $25 every month, the 2 cents that you probably will have left will be down to nothing.
Wow.
Will be down to nothing.
I'm going to find out what's going on, because
you need to find out.
Yeah, because I might try to do that before I leave here this afternoon.
Call them. They must be listening. Call them. Let's hear what they have to say.
A lot of the customers or clients, if you will, are calling.
And I also heard you speaking about the proposed incitement act.
Oh, by the Attorney General?
That Levi Peter wants to impose on the backs of the people. Well, my good friend Levi Peter, you will be well advised to take note of 1979, because, Matt, surely, I am sure Dominicans are not going to sit back and be allowed to be muzzled. You remember some time ago they were trying to impose an act to govern the media.
It was dropped?
Well, we stood up, and I don't know where it has gone to. And whenever they're ready, we will stand up again. Of course, we expect to be regulated. But what the proposals that were in that very act, we stood up against it. And we went to the region, and we brought down people. And if they are trying to do that again, we will stand up. And so people need to stand up. Just recently, the Prime Minister was on radio saying, call whoever it is a traitor. Isn't that inciting? Isn't that inciting? And so you're telling me now that you want to pass laws to look, they're yet to go to Parliament to change the name Douglas Charles. Melvin Hall to Douglas Charles. That is what they have to go to Parliament to do, to change that name. They have not gone to Parliament to change the name.
And to change the sexual act against children there.
All those things. But they want to go to Parliament. And another thing, do you know, Matt, that when you become a lawyer, the registration fee that you have to pay to the state, guess how much you have to pay to the Treasury?
I have no idea.
100 EC dollars. 100 EC dollars you have to pay. So you pay to the Treasury 100 EC dollars. That act has been there from time immemorial. So the state is not even getting money. Is Levi Peter not thinking about that? He came through the back door as a lawyer. One time he was criticizing Tiani Bianzin, saying Tiani I forget the term that he used, a lay magistrate. Now Tiani completed his entire degree. He came through the back door and he was given that. And so now he is now inside there having a joyride, always out of state in Dubai, selling his passports. And so now he wants to even prevent me, Carlisle John Baptist, from speaking. Well. I have news for you, Mr. Levi Peters.
Mr. Levi Peters, 1:26 in the afternoon. I think you should leave that one alone, Levi Peters. Hello, talk to me. On the telephone, are you there? Give me a call. Hello, talk to me here.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon, Matt.
Yeah, how are you, my friend?
Not bad. Matt, before I say something, Matt, do you notice that we have a new airline flying out of Fort Lauderdale conveniently just before the by-election in Soufriere, Matt?
I didn't tie the two, but I heard that there's some new airline. Yes.
Not new, Matt. The same people, Matt. The new, same old bottle, different wine. Same old bottle, different wine, Matt.
Yes, I heard about it. It's called the Island Fun Tours. A tour company in Dominica partnering with RVR Aviation and Resorts Air Services.
Check the background of the players in there, Matt, and you will find they are the same players that started the one before. They started the charter before, Matt.
Okay.
Now they make it a seat of $30. Now, Matt, why would you take a little seater plane holding 30 people for a 4-hour flight from Fort Lauderdale to Dominica? Are you crazy, Matt? Matt, would you do that?
It depends on the, if you will, the trying to get the word there. The comfort, the comfort involved.
Matt, what comfort? Matt, it is smaller than the 748, Matt. 30 passengers, Matt. That's a little. I'm not flying from Antigua to Dominica, and it's far as people telling me they're going to risk their life, talking about they're going on fun tours from Fort Lauderdale to Dominica on a little 30-seater plane, Matt. Matt, you serious? When the Prime Minister he's going on private jet. So why that same private jet they couldn't have those jets doing it, Matt? Matt, all you people, we sick in Dominica, you know, Matt.
But let me ask you a question. I need to ask you a question as it relates to, I know you're an expert in banking there. We hearing talk, yeah? And I still try to confirm. But can the bank charge you, all of these monies to maintain your account?
Well, they are entitled to charge a fee. The size of the fee is left to them. You see, that is the problem with our government. They talk about globalization and world market, neither of which they understand the meaning, nor do they know the meaning of those things. Matt, when you're talking about globalization, Matt, your legislation, your commerce legislation must be up to par with the world market that you're talking about. Because these little islands in Dominica, these little islands in Caribbean don't have market, Matt. What markets do they have? Matt, you producing couple bananas. What market you have in Dominica, Matt? All we are recipients for large global communities. So when they talk about, Matt, they need to reform their legislation. The banks have a thing to charge their fees. They are allowed to charge a fee. It is up to them how much they charge because there's no legislation saying how much. But even the interest rate, Matt, you know there are no usury laws in Dominica, Matt? There are no usury laws. There is no bankruptcy laws. Matt, they have a Companies Act, Matt. That is a piece of joke. Matt, this government is so inept, Matt, that they have no idea what they are doing, Matt. If they knew what they were doing, Matt, those are the things when they talk about globalization, the first thing you have to do is address the relevant legislation that addresses your common.
Well, I find, and again, if true, that $30 seem a lot in a small economy like ours for people to maintain their accounts at the bank.
Precisely, Matt. But what is the okay, now what happens is that interest actually is the price you pay for the use of other people's money. All right? So they're telling you that you have to pay a service fee of $30, right? $30 on what? Now, what percentage, what interest is that based on the account or whatever you're doing that they're charging you that service? Matt, for example, you have a check, let's say you have a bounce check for $2.00 in your account. They charge you $30, Matt. Matt, if on $2, Matt, they charge you $30, Matt, what is the interest rate, Matt? $30 to $2 and some cents, or $5 if you're overdrawn by that, they charge you $30. But what is the interest rate? But we need usury laws. We need good banking legislation. Matt, talking about this banking thing, Matt, you hear the story that what's going back and forth now with the banking and the risking in the U.S.?
I heard some talk, and you spoke about it recently.
The thing is, the deputy governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is suggesting that they establish a bank in the United States. But how can you tell me we have professionals in the Caribbean that are supposed to guide us, and he doesn't understand the basic idea of risk measurement, risk control, and risk mitigation? Even if they establish a bank in the United States, Matt, it is subjected, Matt, to the same regulatory environment that the U.S. banks are subjected to, which means that they still could not be the correspondent bank for these banks, Matt. But what they need to be looking at is merging all these indigenous banks to form one powerful bank like Citigroup or JP Morgan Chase or something like that. If not, Matt, you know what's going to happen? We're going to go back to 60 years where our banking sector will be controlled and dominated by foreign entities, Matt.
All right, caller, thanks for that information as always. Edifying. Hello. More telephone calls, yes.
Oh, hello, good afternoon, Matt.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I don't usually call into your program. I like to listen, but I feel obliged
Okay.
to correct some misinformation, in my opinion, that your recent caller just made regarding RVR Airlines, the test flight that landed in Dominica on Friday last week. That test flight has absolutely nothing to do with the government. It is a new route that we are trying to establish to make life easier for Dominicans, given the appalling...
So, hold on, let's establish something here. Who's the we that you're talking about?
The we are the people who are working to establish this airline.
So, is there a name?
Yes, RVR Airlines.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I was saying is, we have in Dominica an appalling service from LIAT, the main airline that lands in Dominica to take us abroad or to bring us into our country. So some people have got together, and of course we have to approach the government to get landing rights and all other support that we can get, because the government does want to see better airline services in Dominica. So there are things that you can criticize, but I think people need to get their facts straight. This airline has absolutely nothing to do with the government. This is a private enterprise by a private company trying to bring a better airline service to the island of Dominica. Thank you.
Hello, are you there?
I'm there.
All right, let's talk to you a bit here. How many people will this airline will be bring to Dominica?
It is a 30-seat jet which landed beautifully, and there were many witnesses at the airport, at Douglas Charles Airport on Friday, including myself.
It looks very beautiful.
It's a very beautiful aircraft, and the prices are going to be reasonable, and the service, the objective is to have an efficient service from Fort Lauderdale to Dominica. And by the way, the St. Lucian government are also backing this. So, I can't see why someone would want to criticize something that will make life easier for us.
Is this a weekly service?
Yes, it's going to be a weekly service. And how many of us have traveled abroad, sat in Douglas Charles Airport to pick up an aircraft called Liat? The flight is supposed to be at 8 o'clock. At midday, you're still at the airport. And nobody can tell you what time you're going to get to where you're going.
Is it too early to talk about schedules in terms of what time it will get to Dominica, what time it will return to Fort Lauderdale? Hello. Let's just get lost on this one there. Hello, talk to me. 136 in Tristan.
We've been burnt, so it's going to take a little convincing, and a little more transparency. If this lady's listening, a little more transparency, man.
So why is it that you don't believe her? She just gave her side of the story there.
It is human nature. We've been beaten up in
You're a little skeptical.
But Matt, I forget about that airline. What I wanted to talk about is the banking. That bank. That bank is charging people because it is a big red flag. When banks do that, they are about to close, and they're just wanting everybody to run.
But you mean about to close? Don't you know the same things happen in many banks, or 90% of the banks in the United States?
Matt, Bank says they did the similar. Your money was just disappearing from that bank. They try to take as much of your money as possible, keep it while they're closing, so they don't have to give it back to you.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Hello.
Hey, Mark.
How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
Oh.
Good. About the banking business, I live in Virginia.
Yes.
And I had an account at the Barclays. It used to be Barclays Bank, but it's not Barclays anymore. Okay. Can you help me on the name, please?
It's First Caribbean Bank.
Yes, First Caribbean Bank. And when I came to Dominica last year, February, I went to check out the bank, and almost half of the money was gone because the bank charges $25 to maintain the account. So that is real, that is true. I've been through that. What I had left, I had to withdraw it, very little.
Well, somebody from Connecticut is telling me that the very same happened with them and the Scotiabank. They had to close the account eventually. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Pelton. How are you?
How are you, sir?
Yeah, it's been a long time I haven't called in, but I do listen. And Mr. Robinson called your station, and I think that just highlights the reasons why I really don't even participate in these discussions anymore. Because he obviously needs to apologize to these people who are trying to do something good for Dominica. And it is this kind of negative attitude and labeling people and being uninformed and putting people against each other for no good reason. These are the kind of things that keep our country back. And I just wish even the journalists like yourself asking the guy a ridiculous question like who is we after he names a company. You guys need to get better at what you're doing. And
what did you just say, that we shouldn't ask who owns the company?
But he says he's saying to you, we are going to do this, and it's obviously a company, and you're asking who are the we. That's such an obvious.
Oh, so why you shouldn't know the people behind the company?
Because the company has a right to decide who it wants to disclose. This is how
you don't believe in transparency, my brother? A company is coming to Dominica. We as journalists try to find out who are the people behind the company because of the many times we've been burnt before. You're saying we don't have a right to ask the question. You talk about journalism, my brother. Have a nice lunch. 139. Talk to me. 449-3095. I can understand your point about Mr. Robinson, but about asking questions. You don't think we have a right to ask questions? Interesting. Hello.
Matt,
yes.
Very funny last caller. That's a funny last caller. Anyway, about the bank.
Yes.
Mr. Really though is you. Matt, about the bank, right?
Yes, talk to me.
In the US, Matt, they do this very same thing. However, there are cases where they waive the fee. They, like for example, if you do direct deposit, if you make your salary go directly to the bank, then they waive the service fee and so on. And so I think it will be useful to get more information directly from.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the bank and find out what's going on.
I'm speculating because I think we need more information before we draw all these conclusions. That's how it should be done. But Matt, that last caller there, them fellas, they're too wicked. Later.
I don't know. I don't want to practice his kind of journalism. My brother, keep it in the dark, okay? 141.
Hi, Matt.
How you doing?
I got cut off. I'm really.
Oh, sorry. I was worried about, not worried about asking questions about the schedule, but I'm being told because of the chatter, this may not be necessary.
Okay, let me just say this to you.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to be transparent, and we will be transparent. Just keep your eyes open. We have a press release coming out shortly. We're just tying up the loose ends. Okay.
No problem. I appreciate that. I would like to be at the news conference too. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Bye-bye. Hello. See? The lady is willing to give information. Maybe not at this time, but I think we have a right to ask questions. Hello.
Of course, people have a right to ask questions. Mr. Robinson has some literally misconception, man. The whole question about having a 30 passenger aircraft carrying people from Port Lauderdale into Dominica, man, that is big cause for concern, man.
My brother, this, and I maybe share your concern too, but this jet looks very comfortable from where I sit. Looking at the pictures, check it out on DNO. It looks very comfortable. So maybe we may have to find out a lot more. As Mr. Robinson asked me whether I travel on 30-seater from Fort Lauderdale. Maybe I will if it's comfortable. I've flown on a 2-seater from Puerto Rico. I've taken many risks in my journalism life. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, Matt.
Good.
Matt, I heard the agriculture minister asking farmers to step up. But I'm saying to the agriculture minister, he too must step up and clear up them feeder road. Clear it up so that farmers could get to the farm.
I'm being told that you guys are producing some bad quality. We'll talk about that on the Farmer's Cry tomorrow. Hello. Caller? Are you there?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Isn't that the same plane that scary chatters all the time?
No, they're saying no. They're two different companies.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll find out. There's a news conference coming up. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Peltier.
How are you doing?
Sorry again. But I'm not saying that journalists don't have a right to ask questions. They can even have their opinions. But what I find is there's a lot of times when information is coming across the radio and the person who's giving in information and just expressing an opinion is totally uninformed. For example, I heard, I guess, one of your colleague journalists on the radio a while ago, he was talking about Mr. Levi Peter and how he came into the back door. You're a journalist. What the hell is coming into the back door? I mean, can you explain that to...
Oh, you wanted to explain, but I know just what he meant. And I suspect you want to know too. Carlisle, call this gentleman and inform him accordingly. Hello, talk to me. Hello. 4493095. Hello. In other words, caller, maybe I won't get color at this point. When he came in, he had to be given special permission from the government to serve as a lawyer here. Traditionally, you would have to go to Trinidad and go to law school. We wouldn't law school. To practice as a lawyer. But Mr. Levi Peters was given special permission, and that can happen. It's happening in a few instances. Hello.
Yes, and then my question would be, what's the significance of using that information against the man? The man obviously went through...
Because he was criticizing the same magistrate he served with. That was Mr. Douglas there. I try to remember the name. It's not coming to mind there. But he was criticizing him, and he came in the same way. I guess he has special privileges. 145, hello. You want me to explain everything to you, huh? Hello. What's that?
Keep up the good work.
I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying. That's all I can do. Hello.
Hello.
How you there?
I good, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I listening to them people talk about that airline thing, and I don't know. The guy is trying to compare what he's justifying his reasons for the airline, the operation of the airline, due to the inefficiency of Liat, right?
Uh-huh.
What hear that? So he figure we should welcome the airline in substitute of the problems you get in with Liat, L-A-I-T. Liat doesn't fly to Miami. The Miami is not out of Miami is not the issue. It was never the issue. We have plenty international hubs that connect us from the mainland of Europe and United States. That is not the issue. If you have a problem with a regional airline, you have to come with a system to substitute the routes of the regional airline. Miami to Dominica, 50 people doesn't solve the problem. I want to go Barbados, I can't go. I want to go St. Lucia, I can't go. I want to go to Grenada, I cannot go. I want to go St. Kitts and Martin, I cannot go. What other flight is not my issue? Because anytime you leave out of Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, Grenada, Antigua, I can get to Fort Lauderdale in a jiffy. Without no problem. That's international connections. You get what I'm saying? So to come and justify the relevance of the airline by saying about Fort Lauderdale is not the issue. If you're using your gauge as Liat as your gauge, you have to subsidize the routes of Liat. Don't come and say Fort Lauderdale nonsense for election thing.
Hello, you really think that's for election? The lady is saying, no, that's not the reason. A lot of times they're trying to get direct contact or connection to Dominica, and this is the reason why they're trying to establish this new airline. Hello.
Yeah, I would say that a reasonable discussion to have with your last caller is that business people can enter into business and enterprises wherever they determine there's a possibility that they make a profit. And just to point out that if you can get a flight from Miami to Dominica, then you don't have to fly to Antigua, you don't have to fly to St. Lucia, you don't have to fly to
San Juan.
So that frees up tickets. So that helps the situation. So
they're having a direct connection. That's the point I'm trying to make, okay? It's 1:48. We have to take a break for commercial sake, but let's take one final phone call. Yes.
Matt, it's me. Prior protocol established, stipulated to. Matt, when I call, everybody identifies me, Matt. But when they call, why don't they identify themselves? They can call my name big and bold, Matt. Please identify yourself and take me on one-on-one. Let us discuss the matter rather than making strategy.
They're saying that you're wrongly informed as it relates to these flights for political reasons.
Matt, what did I say, Matt? I said, isn't it convenient that just before this by-election, this airline pops up? And I asked a question. I said, they were the same people involved. He hasn't disputed that. He hasn't said, well, it is not coincidental that it coincides with a by-election to be called soon. He hasn't challenged that. He talks about, oh, it's a nice jet. But I was talking about the distance and the number of people, Matt. It's a 4-hour flight, Matt. Okay?
All right. Well, let's take a phone call here. It's 1:49. Another one.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
Matt has a frequent flyer, Matt.
Yes, I know that.
A certain seat doesn't cut it. Let's say they talk about the reasonable fee. 400 US? 400 US at 30, that's 12.
No, they haven't established the prices. They said it's going to be reasonable. So I suspect with a charter flight, you might expect to pay more.
But Matt,
I'm here.
yeah, what I'm saying, I just put in a figure. 400 US at 50, that's $12,000 US. Is it economic to run a flight to Dominica, consider maintenance, landing?
But you're using the question of economics, but you're using your own numbers in terms of the price. Let's just say it's $1,000.
1,000 US.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Do you consider that reasonable?
That's already above your competition. You could get from Dominica, if you have a reliable airline better than Riyadh, you could get to Dominica, from Dominica to Fort Lauderdale with about 1,600 EC, which is about 600 US.
But the rules don't change if it's a chartered flight?
Yes, you can use Riyadh and get to a hub and pay, if you have a proper airline better than Riyadh, I say, more reliable, better price. You could make it, so for instance, you invest in an airline, a jet of 30 seaters to waste time, and then you're going to waste money unless it's subsidized by the government. And that's the only way they could make it, Mark.
But again, I am saying, and I'll ask the people in aviation, if it's a chartered flight, the rules might change. You can charge what you want because it's for your convenience. You pay for convenience. Let's take a phone call.
Yes.
But I still I run that by the aviation persons, yes?
Yes, hi, Matt.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, not everything that glitters is gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
The proof is in the pudding. And I agree with Mr. Robinson. You can't help but be skeptical about things that's going on. It's too much of a coincidence. And I guess Kerry's operatives, wherever they are, and his mouthpiece are just too busy to just jump. Or as soon as you say something, they're ready. It's like in the Cold War. They say scary in the air and they jump and they just start talking out of you know what. I'm listening.
All right, thank you very much. 152. Let's do this. Come back.
Free up with 6 months broadband internet from Digicel Play. Simply sign up for Play TV service and get 8 megabyte broadband internet free for 6 months. Enjoy more channels on Digicel Play TV. Watch all the latest movies and sports in high definition. And get 6 months free reliable broadband internet with free installation and free modem. This offer is valid for a limited time only. Call us at 616-1600 or 616-1700 for more information. Or visit the Digicel Play office on Bath Road. Digicel terms and conditions apply. Experience extraordinary.
Tickets on sale now for Dominica's Jazz and Creole Festival, Sunday, May 15. Available from Bullseye Pharmacy, Roseau and Portsmouth, The Champs, Picard, Tulip, Outback Bar and Grill and Phone Shack, Portsmouth. Tickets only $75, so don't miss it. Dominica's Jazz and Creole Festival, Sunday, May 15, Cabritz National Park, 2 to 9 p.m. Gates open 12 noon. Presented by the Government of Dominica with headline partner Discover Dominica Authority and gold partner Digicel. Be extraordinary.
Festival Jazz and Creole de la Dominique, 15 mai 2016 au Parc National Cabritz. Sur scène, Nikeni Soft de Guadeloupe, Hélène Parle de Trinidad, Andy Narel, Cameron Pierre, Brève et puis Cadence All Stars. Venez et puis la famille, relaxez dans l'air fraîche de Fort Chely en écoutant les mélodies douces de jazz créole. Présenté par le gouvernement de la Dominique et puis Discover Dominica Authority et Digicel. Une expérience extraordinaire. Dimanche 15 mai 2016, Jazz and Creole de la Dominique. Visitez dominicafestivals.com en savoir plus.
Every day, we celebrate something. A birthday, wedding anniversary, a newborn baby. Some days, we send well wishes, a thank you message. We say, I'm sorry. We send condolence messages. We want to make that special someone feel extra loved. Go to Fruit Plus on Cock Street. Show your emotions with a fruit basket. Fresh floral arrangements, chocolates, wines, perfumes, jewelry sets, captioned mugs, and so much more. Get that special gift for that special moment for your special someone. Visit Fruit Plus on Cock Street today.
Okay, let's take a few phone calls and wrap it up here. 1:54 in the afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, Mark.
I'm here.
Yeah, concerning the airline, you know, sometimes I wonder what is really wrong with us in Dominica. We just assuming things. when you see that price really come out, man, people are going to keep them up shut. They'll be surprised to see the people that invest in that airline. I mean, come on. I'm surprised at the comments that I am hearing. That has nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with the Labour government. These people are going to be shocked.
All right. We'll be watching, and of course, she indicated that I will be, God willing, invited at the news conference. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's, as that caller said, let's wait and see, and we'll try to get all the answers that you want and that you need. It's Talk on the Block.
Need a bit of spice in your life? Are you longing for the most delicious jerk options? This and every Thursday is Jerk Day at Barana Breeze Bar and Grill at Dive Dominica from 12 p.m. Savory local jerk pork, succulent jerk local chicken, and finger-licking jerk fish tacos, served with 3 Creole sides, and of course, a PC cold red stripe bear or chill glass of Archipelago's wine selection. All this for only $40 inclusively. Get fired up this Thursday at Jerk Day at Dive Dominica's Barana Breeze Bar and Grill. And call 448-2188 to place your order or for more information. Or simply text your order to 276-4172 or 317-432222.
All right, let's take a phone call there. Hello.
News propaganda.
Hello.
Who's spreading news propaganda?
What are you talking about?
I mean, in between Kyrie and FM and...
I suspect we don't get involved in propaganda, my brother. So 156, hello. 449-3095-96. If there are questions you need to ask, we will try our very best to ask it on your behalf, okay? 449-3095. There's always a difference, and I always tell you that, between an opinion and a fact. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Matt, I traveled from Dominica to Venezuela to right in Cuba, and back, same route on airline. And those airline, there is big airline, good airline. And I tell you, to be honest, I am afraid right now to be traveling from Miami to Dominica on those small airline like that, to be overheated on the air. I rather to take it on boat instead. Thank you very much.
All right. Hello, talk to me in the afternoon. This is Talk on the Block. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Matt, the same way the proposed 5-star hotel for Woodford Hill was a fly-by-night hotel. It's the same thing with that airline, Matt. But any feasibility study going to tell you the death trap they have at Melvin Holt / Douglas Charles there wouldn't facilitate nothing like that. Is the by-election as somebody suspected and proposed?
Well, we'll see, because according to them, they'll be here weekly.